Our ritual services are designed to bring about profound changes aligned with your desires. While outcomes can manifest as fast within a day, the process can also unfold over a transformative journey. Rest assured, results are guaranteed, reflecting our commitment to your satisfaction, and we stand by that guarantee. In the unlikely instance that you do not experience the desired effects within 4 months, we offer either a recast as no charge or a full refund, okay? Ensuring your peace of mind throughout the process. Okay, that redeems, not the black and white magic bullshit.
Right.
You've already still lost me on that. But that does redeem a little about the sale here.
Right.
Now, the transformation, though, that's going to be a glamour.
Yeah.
There's no, it just is not going to be a physical, my bones are shifting and changing and altering. But let's go on. About the coven. The Pentacle Coven is a sisterhood of 5 witches, guardians of the 5 points of the sacred pentacle, with each of us practicing a unique form of magic. So that was my other thing. So they're they're like the Planeteers, just like Captain Planet.
Right.
Like they're each like, this is like the Power Rangers
Right.
of witches. With each of us practicing a unique form of magic. Hey witches, blessed full moon in Capricorn, and welcome to an all-new episode of Spelling the HEKA-TEA with Marcus and Evanne. I'm Marcus, I'm an activist, witch, author, and defiant homosexual.
And I am Evanne. I am a witch, a lipstick lesbian, and an editor and legal assistant.
If you are joining us for the first time, welcome. If you are joining us again, welcome back. You know the drill. If you like what you see, please do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and help us in building our beautiful, baneful, and blessed coven that we are building right here in our corner of the circle.
Where we are 2 homos, 1 cauldron, and it is a spellbinding good time.
Absolutely. All right.
All right.
So, this is going to be kind of a fun episode.
Yes, I'm very excited.
A lot of humor.
As we always do.
Yeah. We have Witchcraft in the News, Astrology Mixology, our main story, Etsy Witches and Etsy Witchcraft.
The Etsy of it all.
The Etsy of it all. Spellcraft, obviously. And then we have Pagan Invasion. Finally, we are at the Mormons. We have finally arrived to the 3-part episodes, episode 10, 11, and 12, all about the Mormons. I am curious to see how they're going to make this stretch for 3 episodes.
I know.
I mean, they made the whole Hinduism yoga thing stretch like 5 episodes.
Yeah, frankly, I don't think there's been an episode since the initial episode that they have not mentioned the Hindu thing.
I mean, it's mostly just been about the Hindu thing and Eastern philosophy. It hasn't even been about witchcraft, paganism. Hasn't been about, like, yes, paganism in the Hindu sense, but not, like, I guess, so let me rephrase that, neo-paganism.
Right.
No talk about Wicca anymore. No talk about Satanists or Satanism or, like, yeah, nothing. It's just
the East is bad.
Yeah, it's just been the East is bad.
Yeah.
But now we're finally to the 3 parts of why Mormons are bad. I mean, we know the Mormons are bad, but it's time to find out
I'm
why,
excited,
according to them.
Yes, I'm excited to find out why Chuck and Carol think they're bad.
I know. I mean, it's going to get weird. The Mormons are fucking weird.
The Mormons are
just
weird.
like Jehovah's Witnesses are fucking weird. I mean, they're all fucking weird. But it's going to get really weird.
It is. So, and for our Witchy Media review, we have a little bit of a double feature for you this time. So first up, we are watching Wicca, the Occult Experience, followed by the Inauguration of the Pleasure Dome by Kenneth Anger from 1966. This is based on a Thelemic initiation ritual, and it's very much a Crowley-fueled orgy of psychedelia.
Yes.
And that is the only hint that you're getting so far.
Yeah, so buckle up and stay tuned for this episode, man. All right, so first things first.
Yes.
Witchcraft in the News. All right, so we are transitioning to devices now instead of note cards, just because it sucks to write all that shit out longhand. It really does.
Right.
And being left-handed, my handwriting is not that great. And last episode, I had a moment there where I like start over because I couldn't read my own handwriting.
Exactly.
And for any of you longtime viewers, you know that that's not the first time. So instead, now it's all being typed out.
Except for mine, because I had already written them out when we made this decision.
Yes. All right. So, in a case involving a Muslim family in Maryland, Justice Samuel Alito wrote for the 6-3 majority that having LGBTQ books in school places an additional burden on families that oppose LGBTQ people. In Mahmoud v. Taylor, the court ruled that the parents in this case are likely to succeed in their challenge to the school board's policies for closing the opt-out option, explained SCOTUS blog's Amy Howe. We have long recognized, Alito writes, the rights of parents to direct the religious upbringing of their children. And we have held that those rights are violated by government policies that substantially interfere with the religious development of children. The school board's introduction of the LGBTQ-themed books and the failure to provide notice and opt-out options for parents meets that test. It does interfere with the children's religious development and imposes a burden on religious exercise, wrote Howe in her explainer. The key piece of the ruling gives the option for anyone to object to any book in the school based on religious concerns. So how does this fit in? Other than we're queers, we're homosexuals, and many of you watching probably are as well. The Satanic Temple, for example, could potentially have the Bible banned from schools, which would be awesome. And as we know, despite all of their drama going on at the Satanic Temple, they are still active, they are still working, and they are still litigious. Right. And so this is something that they could get involved with. What I found interesting about this, though, is the Church of Satan, which was founded by Anton LaVey, made a clarifying statement, because apparently in a previous article, they were, as often happens, they get conflated with the Satanic Temple. So the Church of Satan requested its name be removed from such litigation as it's not consistent with their beliefs. So they said in a statement to Raw Story, "We do not believe religious organizations should be involved in politics or schools. So as a religious organization, we do not get involved with politics or schools. We aren't hypocrites and recognize the danger of normalizing religious overreach in these situations, and aren't interested in playing childish tit-for-tat games that weaken the separation of church and state. Our membership spans the political spectrum, and we are opposed to religious organizations working to ban books regardless of their right or left leaning. As an aside, journalists contacting us should remember to include their contact information and perhaps consider asking for a comment prior to publishing a story making assumptions or using us as a punchline." So I find it interesting that they decided to issue a clarification that they're like, we basically are we're like the Amish. Right. We in Mennonites, and we do not get involved in politics, public life in any way, shape, or form. Right. We are solely religious. We are not the Satanic Temple. We are the Church of Satan. We are different, and we are not only a religious 501c3 exempt religious organization, but we don't get involved at all. We have no involvement. Right. I just find it really interesting that they ended up having to feel the need to release this statement at all. Yeah, I do think that's interesting too. I didn't bother to look for the previous Raw Story article to see like what they were referencing, because I've seen 1,001 articles throughout my lifetime written where they mock Satanists or witches, pagans. So we're all used to it. Exactly. I didn't need to I could just only imagine what it was referenced or said. Right. So.
All right. Well, next up, so the musical version of The Witches.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so it had a limited run at London's National Theatre back in January of 2024. Which had now since just recently ended. The original cast recording was just released by Broadway Records.
Oh, okay.
Featuring a score by Dave Millay, book and lyrics by Lucy Kirkwood, directed by Lindsay Turner. The cast consists, just briefly, of Olivier nominee Catherine Kingsley in the role of the Grand High Witch.
Okay.
BAFTA winner Daniel Rigby is the hotel manager.
Okay.
And Sally Ann Triplett as Gran.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So if you are unfamiliar with The Witches, you are probably not, given that it is just such an iconic work.
We did an episode which I'll flash here, where we discussed The Witches and Witch Media review. Yes, so definitely check that out if you haven't seen it yet.
Yes. But if you are unfamiliar with the story by any chance, it is the tale of Luke and his Gran, who come to a hotel on the same weekend as a gathering of all of the witches in England, who are aiming to turn all children into mice in order to eliminate them. And chaos ensues.
Yes.
Based on Roald Dahl's 1983 novel, it has seen screen adaptations originally in 1990 and then again in 2020. Yes. I would personally not recommend the 2020 version, but that's just
not
me.
At all. Yes.
So very exciting that this music is coming out.
Yeah, I want to hear it.
I can't wait to listen to it.
Yeah, that is so cool.
Yeah.
I love The Witches.
Me too.
All right. A new book is coming out called That Very Witch, Fear, Feminism, and the American Witch Film, which takes us deep into an exploration of how the portrayal of the witch in movies and the role and vision of women in America have gone hand in hand. The official description of That Very Witch, Fear, Feminism, and the American Witch Film by Peyton McCarty-Seamus shares of the book That Very Witch, Fear, Feminism, and the American Witch Film explores the cyclical rise and fall of the cinematic witch in American culture and her relationship to feminist movements over time. Through historical analysis and dozens of case studies, Peyton McCarty-Seamus analyzes how the witch came to be understood as the ultimate cultural boogie woman. And man,
exactly.
I get it though. This is about feminism, so I would mention that.
Right. Exactly.
The cultural boogie woman on the one hand, and a classic feminist symbol of empowerment on the other. I'm actually very interested in this book.
Oh yeah.
So I love reading scholarly books about film and witches and dissertation, and I have a lot of books on feminism.
Yes.
And so I'm excited to see this, especially in relation to witchcraft.
Exactly.
But I also feel like you can't get around having a lot of books on feminism and witchcraft
Right.
if you're a witch.
Exactly.
Like, I just feel like that's kind of...
That's definitely
yeah.
true. I took a whole class on feminism and literature in college.
Yes,
So
many did, I feel
yes,
like.
oh yes.
I think for some, because they loved it, others because they thought it would be an easy credit,
Right.
and then found out it wasn't.
No. I think for me it was I'll be honest, it was a little mix of both.
A little bit of both, yeah.
The next story that we have comes out of Port St. Lucie, Florida.
Mhm.
That's never a good start to things, is it?
No.
Anyways, so this guy...
The Bram Stoker's Dracula joke, by the way. Lucy, Fort.
So Alaric Alec Ramsbot, whose name is a mouthful.
Yeah, that is a mouthful.
Age 23,
Mhm.
was arrested on June 25th in connection with the deaths of 7 kittens and an injury to an 8th kitten.
Okay.
Yeah. So unfortunately, during the police search on June 19th,
Oh, let me guess.
there were books involving witchcraft, demonology, sacrifices, and ritual processes found in the home.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a previous investigation on June 16th after someone requested a welfare check on 4 of the kittens owned by Ramsbot, one of whom had been seen having a broken leg. This person alleged that he had previously had 7 additional kittens who had all died in different ways after he adopted them in March. So we're talking about in a 3-month stretch of time.
Right.
The incidents involved pretty violent ends for these poor kittens. Drownings and broken necks, things like that.
Oh, God.
Yeah, just really, really awful. And then the kittens were cremated after death. Yeah. At the June 19th search, recording devices were also found in the home as well. Of the 4 kittens that were remaining, one has a mandibular fracture, but luckily the kittens are now removed from his home.
Yeah, praise HEKA-TEA.
Right. Oh, just awful.
It's hard. It's hard because there is sacrifice in magical practices.
Right.
But I just feel like, I don't know, like, it's hard because, like, I support, like, ritual sacrifice of animals in religious practices.
Right.
I do. I understand it. Do I take part? Absolutely
No.
not. I don't. Like, it's just not. I couldn't.
No.
I couldn't. And luckily, I'm not required by any of my deities to do so
No.
as of yet. And I fear the day that, if that were to ever happen, I don't know what I would do. But I feel like when it comes to, like, kittens, like... And clearly, I feel like this was not. I feel like this was for a spell. Like, I feel like this was for a specific working.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just no spell has worked that. I wouldn't do that.
No, I just can't imagine acquiring all of these little baby defenseless kittens to kill them.
I know.
Yeah, truly cannot imagine. No matter what the spell is and what it's for, I cannot imagine seeking out these little baby defenseless kittens for the purpose of killing them.
Yeah, no.
As someone who has a cat, I was researching the story and I glanced up from writing my notes down and I see my cat sleeping on the floor next to my chair because she will follow me pretty much everywhere that I go. She really likes to be close to me. So no matter if I'm in my bedroom, if I'm on my sofa, if I'm at my kitchen table, she will be sleeping close to me.
Yes.
And it just made me so sick as someone who has such a close bond with my cat, you know?
Yeah.
Because how can you not picture that happening to them, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It's horrific.
Yes.
But unfortunately, the world isn't always great, and the news isn't always that great.
Exactly. But I'm glad that A, he's been apprehended, and B, that the kittens have been removed. Those ones who have survived.
Yes, exactly. So St. John's Eve, known as São João, I don't speak Portuguese, so I apologize if I screwed that up. But I think it's São João in Portuguese, which is considered to be the longest night of the year amongst the locals for special reasons, obviously because it's the summer solstice. So in the town of Porto, which is the capital of Portugal, I believe, could be wrong, I would correct that if wrong, but in Porto, which is also where we get, port is on Porto, I believe, if I remember correctly, the corks that are made for the port glasses. The port bottles, of course, come specifically from this one place, so it's very interesting. Anyways, so on Porto's steep streets, several thousand people celebrate the summer in a way that it's been doing for centuries by boinking friends and strangers alike with toy hammers and reveling in the streets all night.
Oh, thank God that you said with toy hammers, because I was like, boinking friends and strangers.
Right? So it's now a Christian holiday, obviously, with pagan roots. The eve of the Feast of St. John the Baptist is celebrated with fireworks, balloons, and lots of grilled sardines. An older St. John's Eve ritual in Portugal's second biggest city involved buying leek flowers, believed to bring good fortune, and inviting strangers to sniff the pungent plant. In the 1960s, a local businessman introduced the playful plastic hammer, which has since become the most famous symbol of the Iberian city's raucous summer solstice celebration. It's a celebration of energy, a celebration of what the city of Porto is, resident João Sousa said, moments after being clubbed with a toy hammer. It's to live and relive what our ancestors have given us and be able to still enjoy it today. St. John's Eve is considered to be the longest night of the year among the most special for the locals. Oh, wait, I just read that. Oops, sorry. I did not scroll up the screen. All right. In the days before the festival, local shops adorn storefronts with miniature dioramas called cascatas that feature figures of St. John the Baptist, scenes from his life, as well as depictions of daily life in Porto. A central element in many dioramas are waterfalls, for which the elaborate miniatures get their name. The dioramas also highlight the holiday's dual Catholic and pagan roots. There's a pagan celebration. It is the cult of the sun, a fire of water, said Germano Silva, a renowned writer and historian of the Portuguese city. The saint enters when Christianity begins. The church, in a successful marketing operation, adds the saint into the solstice celebration, he said. The festival's essence lies in having the freedom to use a plastic hammer on friends and strangers without starting a fight. I know. Porto historian Silva said the celebration is about unifying strangers no matter their differences, beginning with inviting strangers to lean in and smell the leeks a person carried, to now greeting a stranger with a playful tap. We don't know whom we cross paths with, if the person is rich or poor, a doctor or a factory worker, Silva said. On the night of June 23rd, he said a stranger is simply someone who passes by and is celebrating Sao Joao with us.
I love that.
I love that too. And how fun to go running around bopping people on the head with a little plastic hammer. I feel like you get out a lot of fun aggression that way.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you do. Also, the sardines sounded really
good.
good.
Oh my god.
I love
sardines are delicious.
They are.
Love. Oh, so excited, yes.
Oh, I know. And I just love the general mood and the feeling and the purpose of this occasion.
Exactly. And it's summer, it's fun, it's celebrating all of that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really fun. All right, well, moving on to the next little tidbit of news. This is something I'm personally very excited about because, well, I'm a little bit of a nerd.
Mm-hmm.
So archaeologists may have found Odysseus's sanctuary on Ithaca.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So this location has been known for the past 2 centuries as the School of Homer.
Okay.
Archaeologists found evidence of a hero cult that did exist for upwards of 1,000 years, dedicated to Odysseus. This excavation was just announced in early June, but it is the culmination of decades of work.
Mm-hmm.
Though historians do agree that Odysseus was fictional, evidence was found at this site that ancient Greeks worshipped him and invoked him for generations. The site is at the Agios Athanasios, which is a remnant of a 3rd century BCE tower likely used for votive offerings. There is also a corbelled stone cistern at that same location, and that dates back to the 13th to 14th century BCE, which is the Mycenaean era.
Yes.
That is around that same time period as the Trojan War and the events that Homer described in his stories.
Yes.
So 14 stamped roof tiles were found inscribed with words like to Odysseus, for Odysseus, of Odysseus, things like that. A century ago as well, a votive mask was found at Polis Bay, which is also on Ithaca, reading a vow to Odysseus. A miniature bronze bust was found dating from the 3rd to 4th century BCE. That was found at that same site, resembling depictions of Odysseus in art of the time. So yeah, these findings also include ritual vessels, loom weights, and over 100 different coins from around both of the Greek and Roman worlds.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's just interesting seeing that this was not necessarily a local cult, but this was something that people would travel to attend. The Greek Ministry of Culture states that this site can now be confidently identified as the Odysseon, which is a hero shrine mentioned in a 2nd century BCE decree from Magnesia in Asia Minor. That same decree references the Odysseia, which was an athletic and cultural competition in his name.
Yeah.
So it's just really interesting finding all of these artifacts, just kind of proving that he was worshipped and he was revered and honored by both men and women.
Well, here's what I find interesting is it's like historians and archaeologists agree that he was a myth, blah, 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 right? Okay, here's the thing that we have to remember. Since we live in a Judeo-Christian world, right? The Bible is considered, everyone the Bible's real. Everyone's trying to prove the Bible's real. But because we are not a Greek polytheistic culture, we go, those are myths. Those weren't real. But this is what you say that, and you read that, and this is what I hear, and this is what I see, is thousands of years ago, when, for the Greeks, their Bible stories, their truth, people that they would fucking fight and say, no, those motherfuckers were real, were the Mycenaeans, was the Troy era, was Odysseus. They venerated, the reason they worshipped Odysseus was they venerated him as a spirit. Because they believed that he did live, and that he died. He was their Abraham. He was their fucking Saul. He was real. And so my thing is well, why are we not, okay, what about Minoan culture? Right? The Minotaur, the fucking labyrinth of the Minotaur is real. That exists. That exists. That exists. And it's real. And it was from the Minoan or Minoan society culture, which was before the Mycenaean culture. Before the Hellenistic culture. This was the time of Troy. This was the time of all of that. And by the time, what we often consider the ancient Greeks, which were during the Hellenistic period, which was towards the end of the classicist period going into the Roman, et cetera, that was already long gone. That was long gone, centuries and centuries ago. Homer back then Homer wasn't, if you were like, oh, Homer is just writing books, telling stories.
Right.
No,
No.
he was telling scriptural stories that were oral truths.
Exactly.
If you told Homer would be like, no, Troy was real.
Right.
Troy's real. Odysseus was real. These people lived.
Yeah.
Like, so how our Judeo-Christian society
Like supreme thing.
frames things about
Yeah.
the Bible and their history and looking for archaeological proof that these things were real,
Right.
et cetera, et cetera. That same thing was done. And they're still finding evidence that, oh, they'll be like, there is this battle that took place that we could say was the inspiration for the Battle of Troy. No, it was the Battle of Troy.
Right.
Like, it was. Like, it didn't inspire. Like, that's probably how it went by and was named back then.
Right.
And what's being repeated by Homer, by Aristotle, by all these people, is the name that it was then, not what it is now,
Exactly.
then in their current time, etc. Just as we do now with the Bible's history or whatever,
Exactly.
or the Quran's history, or the Talmud's history, whatever. Like, so I just really wish they would stop with this language about lessening it by being like, oh,
It's fictional.
it's fictional. I'm sorry, those are other people's religious truths.
Exactly.
And depending on what path you follow, pantheon, etc. And that's so funny because this leads into our final piece, which is a team from Heidelberg University working in Iraq made a remarkable discovery. In the throne room of the North Palace of King Ashurbanipal, located in the ancient city of Nineveh. Sorry, I apologize. I think it's Nineveh. The archaeologists uncovered large sections of a monumental relief, and the relief shows the 7th century BC ruler of the Assyrian Empire alongside 2 prominent deities and other figures. It was carved into a massive stone slab measuring 5.5 meters in length, 3 meters in height, and weighing around 12 tons. Jesus. The discovery stands out not only because of its size, but also because of the unique scenes it portrays. Among the many relief images of Assyrian palaces we know of, there are no depictions of major deities, says Professor Dr. Aaron Schmidt, head of the excavations in the North Palace and a member of the Institute of Prehistory, Protohistory, and Ancient Near Eastern Archaeology. The ancient city of Nineveh, located near the modern Iraqi city of Mosul, is considered one of the Mosul is considered one of the most important urban centers of northern Mesopotamia. Under King Sennacherib, it became the capital of the Assyrian Empire in the late 8th century BC. Since 2022, Aaron Schmidt and his team have been excavating the Kuyunjik Mound, which lies in the central area of the North Palace, built by King Ashurbanipal. Excuse me on the butchering of all of these names and terms. Again, summer, we have a window open for air circulation, so apologies for traffic sounds more than usual. Also, your eyes did not play tricks on you. We did a slight scene adjustment, so that's why we look a little different from previous part of this episode. We just kind of moved over. All right, so these excavations are part of that Heidelberg Nineveh, I will never be able to say this word, Nineveh project, launched in 2018 under the leadership of Professor Dr. Stefan Maul from the Department of Languages and Cultures of the Near East at Heidelberg University. In the late 19th century, British archaeologists were the first to explore the North Palace and uncovered large-scale reliefs that are now displayed in the British Museum in London, because they stole them. And they should return them to Iraq, but all right. At the center of the newly discovered relief is King Ashurbanipal, the last great ruler of the Assyrian Empire. He is flanked by 2 supreme deities, the god Ashur and the goddess Ishtar, who is the patron deity of Nineveh. I know I keep making it sound different each and every time I say it. I am sorry, I'm trying my best. Following them is a fish genius, a figure believed to grant salvation and life to both the gods and the king. Another figure with raised arms appears behind them and will likely be identified as a scorpion man during restoration. These figures suggest that a massive winged sun disk was originally mounted above the relief, explains Aaron Schmidt. In the coming months, the research team will analyze the depictions and its archaeological context in detail, using data collected on site with plans to publish their findings in a scientific journal. According to Professor Schmidt, the relief was originally located in a niche across from the main entrance to the throne room, i.e. the most important place in the palace. The Heidelberg researchers discovered the relief fragments in an earth-filled pit behind this niche. It was probably dug in the Hellenistic period in the 3rd or 2nd century before Christ. So again, by the time the Hellenistic period came, this thing was in a pit and buried.
Right.
That's how far back time goes.
Exactly.
It's fucking crazy.
Oh, I know.
How it's ancient for us was also ancient to ancient people to us. It's crazy.
Oh, I know.
All right, so next we finally get to Astrology Mixology for July. And this is not gonna, there's not too much major stuff going on. So July of this year will be a month of significant planetary shifts, and there will be potential for deep introspection and transformation. So let's see. Key events: Uranus entering Gemini, Mercury will retrograde into Leo, and Neptune will be stationing its retrograde. And these events will likely impact your subconscious, relationships, communication, all the regular shit. So anyway, on July 4th, Venus will enter Gemini. This transit can spark intellectual conversations and flirtatious energy, making it a good time for social interactions and deepening relationships through communication reports. Through communication. I type communication and then my thing auto suggested reports, and I haven't been on this tablet in ages, and I think I dropped it. I don't know. Anyway, I'll get used. I haven't used this Kindle in 8 years. It's just been. I didn't even know if it worked anymore until I tested it. All right, on July 4th as well, Neptune will station its retrograde. So this retrograde may lead to a reality check, prompting you to reevaluate your plans and your dreams. That's never fun.
No.
That's like never fun. I really hope that is not my story.
Me too.
On July 7th, Uranus will enter Gemini. So this transit can bring unexpected changes, especially in your subconscious mind, hidden thoughts, and communication styles. Yeah, so again, just expect to be unexpected almost, like in terms of how you even respond or react to things and situations. And maybe you're going to have kind of a shift of perspective or ideas or on things, people, situations, beliefs, etc. So just be on the lookout for that. July 10th, today, full moon is in Capricorn. This full moon could bring a midsummer reality check for you, potentially highlighting imbalances in your relationships or partnerships that then will either be addressed and you will work on to heal, or you will cut the cord and walk on out.
Or implode.
Right. On July 17th, Mercury stations its retrograde in Leo. So expect delays, miscommunications, and a need to revisit past decisions, particularly regarding finances and self-worth.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Oh, this sounds so bleak.
I know.
So bleak. I hate retrogrades. They know that they can have like a like I know they can have positive,
Oh, yeah.
but by and large, I fucking hate a retrograde.
Gosh, I know.
Leo season begins July 22nd. The lions will shine,
Yes.
our manes will be groomed, and we will be beautiful. This marks a shift in focus towards self-expression, creativity, and taking up space. Damn right. Take up space. Take up space. Especially if you're a Leo. Fucking take up space. It's your time. You're entitled to it. Your glory shall be thine. If you can't tell, I'm really excited for Leo season.
Oh, yes, you always are.
I always am. All right. The new moon in Leo on July 24th. So this is a powerful time for setting intentions related to abundant self-trust and manifesting your goals. So it looks like this would be a good time to charge in that self-trust, self-expression, also revisiting past decisions, particularly regarding finances and self-worth. So look at those reflections on July 17th when Mercury retrogrades into Leo, when it stations its retrograde in Leo. If those feelings regarding finances and self-worth and dealing with how you've seen all that, blah, 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 starts to manifest. Then on July 24th, when the new moon enters Leo, this would be a good time to set your intentions or your spellcraft, etc., on abundance and self-trust, working on that self-trust, because that goes hand in hand with self-worth. So for July, it's going to be a month of transformation. So expect deep shifts in your inner world and a focus on hidden matters coming to light. Change and reevaluation. Be prepared to reassess your plans, communication styles, and your sense of self. Increase joy and self-expression. July may bring opportunities to explore your diverse abilities and find joy in new experiences. There will be potential for emotional ups and downs because of all those retrogrades happening. So be prepared for moments of imbalance and the need to find your center. So essentially, if you've ever seen the film Trick, you're Tori Spelling, where she's like, where's the cheese, where's the cheese, where's the cheese on these goddamn fucking fries? It's gonna happen. You're gonna wig out. If you haven't seen Trick, fucking watch it. It's hilarious. Tori Spelling's probably best role next to her role in The House of Yes. Finally, make sure to focus on your relationships and communication at this time, because there will be so much opportunity for misunderstanding between yourself and others. And that's not just communication with others, but also communication with yourself. July is a good time to deepen existing relationships and engage in meaningful conversations. And again, not just with others, but with yourself. So there you have it. That was Astrology Mixology for the month of July. Go forth with the wisdom. See what's connecting from the beginning of this month to now. 4th of July, obviously, you probably may have all felt that a little bit. Right. So now we've connected the dots. Move forward in trust for the rest of the month. All right. So, this is fun. Etsy witches. Yeah. And Etsy Witchcraft and Etsy spells and Etsy witch paraphernalia, witch everything. Now, I am not unfamiliar with like going to witchcraft or going to Etsy for witchcraft things. Right. For example, we have new mugs for the show.
We do.
I have a HEKA-TEA.
And I have a Hera.
And these were purchased from Etsy.
Yes.
Love them. Cheers. Oh. So cute. Thank you. And I've gone on there and I've seen like, candles, like specialty candles that are just beautiful and took time to make. And I have one for Santa Muerte, for Nina Dorada, on her yellow, her gold aspect for prosperity, abundance, fortune, luck, blah, 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 on there, success. It was a thank you gift because I give her tithings. And so once her tithing jar is full, I then purchase something with it as a gift for her, as a thank you, blah, blah, blah. So I'm not unfamiliar with buying like idols and things like that, jewelry on Etsy, witchy stuff on Etsy. I never thought about spells though. No, actual spells.
I actually didn't know that this was a thing.
No, and then I started coming across within the past couple of weeks all these articles on Etsy witches. There was one from Elle called Brides are turning to Etsy witches, should you. Clear skies and a loyal spouse are as easy as add to cart. There was, let's see, this is from Airmail News. The Wicked Witches of Etsy. Finding witches to do your bidding, be it casting a spell on a crush or a curse on a boss, is now as easy as paying $15 on the mom and pop online marketplace. I was like, what? What is going on here? And then thetab.com. Oh, this article just disappeared.
Oh.
Well, that's disappointing. But the article was called, I can still read the title of the article. TikTok is obsessed with Etsy witches right now, so here's what they can actually do. And so I brought this to Evanne's attention.
Yes.
And I was like, people are actually buying spells on Etsy.
Which was news to me.
Yes, because, okay, but then it was what kind of spells?
Right.
So, as we see from this Elle article, brides are hiring witches on Etsy for their wedding day or to get them a husband so they can get married, get that ring, whatever.
Right.
Make sure everything works out, whatever, which, yeah, I honestly, like, if you fucking hire a witch to fucking make sure, like, that sounds reasonable to me.
Yeah, exactly.
But then we found out that there are like crazy loony spells on Etsy that are like hundreds and sometimes thousands of dollars, and they're loony as fuck. So we have some clips, some examples.
Yes, we had a grand old time researching this part of the episode.
Yes, hilarious. So after seeing some of this stuff on other videos on TikTok, we decided to look ourselves into some Etsy spells, and we're just going to do it with you, here with us, and we're going to talk about some of them.
Yes.
What we found, especially on the super expensive ones, is some of them have insane stories, like origin stories of the sellers that are just, it's a con, it's a scam, okay? So this one is for $286. Mermaid transformation spell. Insane results, satisfaction guaranteed, 100%. Free recast if necessary. Cast within 24 hours, photo proof, personalized report, digital download. $286.57. You're like, what?
What could this possibly be?
What could this be? What could this be? Buy 2 spells, get a free booster spell.
What is a booster
Offer
spell?
expires on the 30th of June. This is a scam. This is scamming. This is scamming. This is booster spells. Booster spells. So, benefits. Become a mermaid. Experience the magic of transformation as you embody the enchanting beauty and mystical powers of a mermaid. Gain aquatic abilities. Unlock abilities such as breathing underwater, enhanced swimming speed, and a deep connection to marine life, making the ocean your new domain. Magical allure. Radiate an irresistible charm and beauty that mirrors the mythical allure of mermaids, captivating those around you with your otherworldly presence. They're not mythical. Connection to the ocean. Feel a profound bond with the sea and its creatures, gaining insight and wisdom from the depths of the ocean. Physical transformation. Experience a physical transformation where... That was an engine making a boom sound. Enhanced intuition. Physical transformation. Experience a physical transformation where your legs can take on the form of a shimmering, powerful tail, enhancing your connection to the water. Enhanced intuition. Tap into the ancient wisdom of the ocean, heightening your intuition and psychic abilities, allowing you to navigate life with a deep inner knowing. Empowered femininity. Embrace the strength, beauty, and power of the feminine energy embodied by mermaids, feeling more confident and empowered in your true self. Timeless beauty. Enjoy the ageless and ethereal beauty of a mermaid with radiant skin and a captivating presence that never fades. While these benefits highlight just a few of the benefits, the true magic extends...
Wait, the benefits highlight the benefits?
Yes. While these benefits highlight just a few of the benefits, the true magic extends far beyond what's listed. About me. I am Caro.
With a K.
A witch with a rich lineage dating back to the 18th century. My family's deep-rooted tradition in spellcraft and elemental magic has gifted me with profound knowledge of rituals and enchantments passed down through generations. I specialize in creating custom spells tailored to your unique needs, including transformative enchantments and body transformations. Additionally, I offer extraordinary magic for those seeking to transcend ordinary real-world limits. By blending age-old rituals with contemporary techniques, I provide powerful, personalized magic that delivers exceptional results. Important information before you order. Purchasing one quantity. I'm going to have you read our purchasings.
Okay. Purchasing one quantity. A single spell casting provides an introduction to the world of magic, focusing on a specific issue in your life. It's a great way to experience noticeable changes in one area and see the potential of spellcraft. Purchasing 2 quantities. Opting for 2 quantities ensures a balanced and more comprehensive outcome, delivering amplified and well-rounded results. For each additional quantity, I will use a more advanced technique during my work, along with potent herbs and powerful incantations to maximize the impact. Purchasing 3 quantities.
God. So are these the booster packs?
I think so.
I think these are the booster packs.
I think so. Selecting 3 spell castings takes your magic to a deeper level. Each spell reinforces and magnifies the others. Yep, this sounds like these are the boosters, creating a potent network of enchantments that drive profound and enduring change. I will use stronger herbs and more powerful incantations to ensure exceptional effectiveness. Lastly, purchasing 4 quantities.
Oh my god.
With 4 spell castings, you receive the most potent and powerful ancient techniques available. I use the strongest herbs and most effective incantations to ensure the best possible results. Please detail your request in the checkout box or contact me directly. Why purchasing more quantities? Why purchasing?
Why purchasing? Why purchase?
Yes. But that's what she wrote.
Right.
Why purchasing? Adding more spell castings not only increases the magic's power, but also enhances its effectiveness. More spells mean stronger overall energy, achieved through advanced techniques and enriched ingredients. The greater the number of spells, the more significant and transformative the results. Rest assured, even a single spell casting is more than sufficient to deliver exceptional results.
Okay.
But let's read the disclaimer first.
Yes.
Because that's going to be the best part, really.
Yes.
To adhere to Etsy's policies, please note the following. By purchasing this service, you acknowledge that results may vary and are influenced by factors beyond my control. It's beyond my control.
It's beyond my control.
This listing, my work, and your personalized digital printable report are intended for entertainment purposes only and are not directed for specific outcomes. This service is not a substitute for professional advice or work in medical, financial, legal, or other fields. For concerns in these areas, please consult a qualified professional. Please be aware that once you receive your report, refunds cannot be provided, as my art is personalized to your specific requests, requiring significant time, effort, and resources. By proceeding with your purchase, you agree to all of these terms and conditions. All photos in my listings are either AI generated or real images taken during my work, and they are edited and owned by Hera. Unauthorized use or reproduction of these images or listing is strictly prohibited. Any instance of reuse will be reported to the appropriate selling marketplace.
Okay. So, we're going to read a couple of the reviews. She got a lot of 5 stars. Exactly what I expected from this fantastic shop. I have such wonderfully elevated emotions, and a pure sense of pride and joy, and a big smile inside, feeling myself, becoming my true self, and living more freely. Just amazing feeling, and so grateful. Ugh.
I really want to know how many people who have purchased this person's spells have died trying to breathe underwater.
Right? Caro helped me with knowing how to practice after the spell was casted, and answered all my questions. After the spell was cast, and answered all my questions. I can't wait to further my journey.
What is your journey, though?
I am happy I decided to get this booster. My original spell will be taken to another level, and the information Caro has given me on the original spell lets me know that I am on the right path of transformation. This will help to make everything easier and more aligned with my truth. Thank you, Caro. This, oh my god, this is a grift. This is a fucking grift. First of all, are there spells out there that you can do to enhance certain things? Like, let's say you want to run for track, right?
Right.
And you want to win the track meet, game, run, whatever.
Whatever.
You can do a spell to help you get better and better and faster and increase your ability at running faster than you normally would. Like, you can do magic to help lose weight.
Mm-hmm.
I will say though, like, if you adhere to sympathetic magic, color magic, and association, don't make the mistake of doing a weight loss spell but using a green candle. You will gain.
Mm-hmm.
Use white, use black to banish. I think brown is a color that you can use for that. But yeah, don't use green because
green, abundance,
growth. Yeah, it's kind of one of those, like, mix up the ingredients, you know.
Right.
But you can't become a mermaid.
No.
Or a merman. Like, this is not, people are paying $286.57 for this.
And that's essentially just for the basic starter pack. That's not
the
including
starter pack.
The booster spells.
Right. And okay, here's the con here. So this is what so she gets the booster, right?
Uh-huh.
My original spell will be taken to another level. It didn't work.
Exactly.
The first spell, nothing happened. It didn't work. Probably because she didn't actually even fucking do anything.
Right.
Then, when she was like, why didn't my spell work? Caro was like, well, it's because you were blocked. There were other forces in the way, so you need to get the booster to level up. So now she understands that because she's paying another $286.57 for another one. She now understands that this is going to take that first spell to the next level. She's going to be blocked, though. I guarantee you, she's going to be blocked and have to go to another booster. But she's been assured that she is on the right path of transformation. She has to keep hacking up that money.
Right.
Here's the thing. A real witch, if they're going to do a spell for you, this is what's going to happen. They're going to charge you. And I'm speaking from this is how I operate. Because, yeah, I do spells for people.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I don't do it for free. But I accept many ways of payment. I'll accept champagne. I'll accept jewelry. I'll accept marijuana. I'll accept a night out at a delicious restaurant for dinner, cook me dinner, whatever. Or if we're gonna talk monetary, because I need to pay a bill, I'm gonna charge you for the materials required. So, you know, I will go price out everything needed for your spell first, right? So if it requires certain herbs, certain stones, crystals,
Right.
you know, if it requires, you know, chicken livers or a cow's heart, whatever, then I'm going pricing it at the butcher. I'm doing whatever the spell requires, material-wise, what types of candles, etc., how many, the color, size, whatever. I'm pricing that all out ahead of time. Then I'm charging you for that. I'm charging you for the price of the materials, and then I'm going to charge you for my time and effort. Which, I'm going to be honest, I will maybe charge $50 to $100.
Yeah.
Honestly. Like, maybe 200, maybe depending on if it's a super intense spell. So at most, maybe you're looking at $250, $150,
Right.
$100 if it's at 50 out of pocket additional for the materials. I'm not charging you. And on top of that, if the spell doesn't work the first time, I'm gonna do it again and put more oomph behind it if need be. If I feel like it, free of charge, unless it's like, no, actually no, because it's on me. So if I'm like, shit, you know what, I'm gonna get a lodestone to add to this. I'm not gonna charge you for the lodestone. I'm gonna pay out of pocket for that fucking lodestone. It's my responsibility. It's my job to make the spell happen. So, and also, I'm gonna put my all behind it the first time.
Exactly.
The first time. Because I'm not looking to keep charging you.
No.
And I'm not looking to have you be like, why hasn't it worked?
Exactly.
My spells fucking work. Like, my spells fucking work. They always work. And if for whatever reason, I just like, maybe I start the spell and I feel like, I go through it, but then I feel like afterwards, I'm like, I feel like I was just not totally in the headspace for that.
Yeah.
I already know I'm going to have to do it again.
Right.
And I'm not charging you for me doing it again.
No.
Because A, I'm practical and I'm going to make sure that whatever ingredients I needed to buy for the spell, I bought enough in case I had to do it more than once.
Exactly.
Because a lot of spells, you do have to do more than once.
Exactly.
A lot of spells require 3 to 7 days or between a new moon and a full moon, or like, most spells aren't just a one and done. They're not.
No.
And I like to do them over the course of a time anyways, just for my own peace of mind that I have put everything behind it.
Exactly.
This shit, like, breathing underwater, creating you'll have a tail.
Oh.
She's saying your legs will become a shimmering tail. You will enter the water and become a merperson. In the physical. Now, if she said, like, a spell to help increase your ability to hold your breath underwater,
right?
Absolutely. A spell to help increase your visibility underwater, because we all know we all can see underwater, right? Like, so a spell that it'll help increase your ability,
your swimming speed,
right? Or increase your speed. You will get better and better, abnormally quick over time, because it's still going to be over time. It's not just be the next day,
right?
But the spell makes it happen at an accelerated rate.
Right.
Basically, the forward button's been hit on the VCR or the DVD, and you're going through it,
right,
compared to what it would have just taken had you just not done magic, done witchcraft, to help give a little oomph to your practice and your training, etc.,
right,
at swimming, at whatever.
But like, no, she's saying you will become a mer person.
You will become a literal mer person.
Yes.
Just pay $286 and 57 cents, and all these people, I guarantee you, who are leaving these reviews, are continuing to pay because they desperately want to be mer people.
Right.
And they're paying over and over. They're believing it and paying. And eventually they're going to realize that it's just not happening. Or they will die trying to breathe underwater, and they will die.
Yes.
And they're going to be like, what? Why? And she's like, and they'll eventually catch on and be like, I'm done. But it'll be too late. They'll be out hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for all of these boosters. There's no refund. I'm going to tell you right now. If a spell did not happen after how many goddamn times I tried and put it through, I'm refunding you. I am refunding you. I would never not refund.
No.
Like, never not refund. I fucking refund my books to bookstores, for fuck's sake, so they'll carry my books in bookstores. So a little side note, but kind of related, in publishing, bookstores will carry books, obviously. Every book they acquire that they buy in bulk, that they buy wholesale, usually from Ingram, which is the biggest wholesale distributor in the Western world, basically. Along with like Baker and Taylor, but Ingram's like the big one. But bookstores, the reason that bookstores will have multiple books, right, and have piles and piles of stacks of books for authors to sign, is because they buy wholesale with the agreement that they can acquire them at a 45% discount in bulk, and that they can return whatever doesn't sell. I have to agree to that. I could say no, discount at 55%, and you cannot return them, which is great and saves me money, but it means I can't be carried in bookstores. It means more bookstores won't carry me if they can't return them. So I practice refund in my day-to-day life. I also practice it in my witchcraft. If I don't deliver on something, then I am refunding you. That's just common sense. These people don't offer refunds.
No.
This is a scam. This is a con. This is using witchcraft and taking away our fucking credibility, for fuck's sake. For this fucking bullshit.
Exactly.
So let's see. Let's find another one.
All right. Okay, so the next one that we found was from user Master Witch Bella.
Ooh.
I'm sure she's not named after the Twilight character at all.
Oh, absolutely not.
This is a Lucifer and Mammon money pact. Only one left.
Oh my god.
$750, but that is marked down from the usual price of $1,000. The sale ends in 12 minutes, so we really better get on our shit.
One left, which means people have been paying this.
Exactly.
Oh my god, I can't wait to hear. Okay, so tell us all about this money, Lucifer Mammon money spell.
Okay, so here's what Miss Bella has to say.
Okay.
Unlock the doors to lasting wealth and unstoppable prosperity with the Lucifer and Mammon Money Pact, a supreme ritual crafted to align your spirit with the purest energies of abundance. This is not just a simple pact, it's a sacred pact that draws on the divine power of Lucifer the Lightbearer and Mammon the eternal source of wealth and fortune. If you're ready to change your financial future forever, this powerful pact will guide you toward the life you've always dreamed of, one filled with endless opportunity, financial freedom, and unshakable prosperity. Why choose the Lucifer and Mammon Money Pact?
Why indeed?
Why indeed? Tell us, Bella.
Please.
Divine power alignment. Connect directly to Lucifer's illuminating guidance and Mammon's wealth-generating force to magnetize wealth, luck, and financial opportunities into your life. Accelerated results. Feel the shift immediately as your aura transforms into a beacon for money attraction and financial success. Remove financial blockages. Eliminate hidden negative energies that have been silently limiting your financial growth. Strengthen confidence and insight. Make better decisions in business, investments, and career with a sharp mind empowered by this pact.
Oh God.
What you will experience. Massive attraction of wealth, money, and abundance from unexpected sources. Enhanced good luck and fortune following you in all financial endeavors. Clear financial pathways opening effortlessly. A deep and magnetic pull towards financial prosperity and lasting success. Imagine a life where you no longer worry about debt, missed opportunities, or stagnation.
Ooh.
The Lucifer and Mammon Money Pact is your elite weapon to crush financial limitations and manifest the wealth that you deserve. Side effects may include death.
Does it say that?
No, it doesn't.
Oh,
I made that up.
damn.
Every aspect of this pact is designed to boost your vibration towards abundance, ensuring that money, fortune, and success flow naturally into your life. It's your turn to enjoy financial success on your terms, fast, powerfully, and without compromise. Order the Supreme Lucifer and Mammon Money Pact today and watch how quickly your financial destiny transforms. Important note, no physical items will be shipped with this purchase. Once your service is completed, I will provide you with evidence of the work through high-quality photo and video sent directly via the Etsy conversation window for your review and assurance.
So
you're paying $1,000 on sale for $750, and you get a DM with a picture.
yeah. So here's the thing. I am torn about this. What I'm torn about is that, like, I understand, like, there's some things, like, you have to bury something, right? You can't really send that to somebody. You have to bury something at a crossroad or out to the sea or whatever. So you don't have anything other than, like, video and photo evidence to send. My issue is, with how expensive all this shit and everything, and clearly what kind of bullshit this is, it can just be a literal video. They did a ritual once, one time, filmed it, and they just send that video to the same people.
Exactly.
Just they send it to people over and over again. See, proof I did it. Okay. Let's see the reviews. Life-changing support. Bella is truly a blessing. I don't usually leave reviews, but I had to take a moment to share how truly grateful I am for Bella. Finding her was divine timing. I genuinely believe I needed her during this transition in my life. From the moment we connected, she brought clarity, peace, and a sense of direction I didn't even know I needed. What really touched me is how she helped my sister through a very personal and stressful legal situation. Within less than 24 hours, my sister went from restless and anxious, waking up at 2, 3, or 4 a.m., to finally sleeping peacefully through the night. Bella's guidance brought calm during a time of chaos, and my entire family felt the shift.
None of that is about financial gain, though.
No, I mean, unless, like, she was going to court for, like, a bankruptcy or something. Like, thank you, Bella. I feel great about making this decision. I'm waiting for the effect. I'm waiting for more results. But still gave her a 5.
Right.
But they're waiting for it to happen. It hasn't even happened yet, and you're leaving a review?
Exactly. Like,
and did this person pay $750, or did they pay the $1,000?
Exactly. I mean, for me, if I'm spending that much money on a spell that's supposed to bring in financial freedom, I'm gonna wait to leave a review until I've attained that.
Yeah. I don't know. The picture of fucking Jesus with wings,
yes,
and then Lucifer, and this like stack of like gold bars and cash, and like it's tempting visually. It's AI again,
of course.
No actual artist and art was made or done here.
No.
But you know, I get there's this appeal. But oh my god, like this is a con, this is a scam.
Exactly.
Like, now, okay, here's the thing. Are there spell casters and shit out there that like are like, you want me to do the spell, it's gonna be 10K? Yeah. A lot of times it's like death spells.
Right.
But usually, especially if it's like a word of mouth thing, and then you finally connect with that witch, and they're like, it's gonna be like $10,000, like, and this is what we're gonna do, and you're gonna participate. That's usually because it's some fucking insane, fucking real fucking shit. Usually some really dark fucking shit, and it will work. It will work as intended and be worth the $10,000 that you got charged. Not that I'm speaking from experience of actually hiring anyone to do that.
No.
It's like, I'm allergic, I want to kill someone and do it myself. But I don't want to do that. I don't have any desire to do that.
No.
But there are people who do in places and in villages and things, and they will charge, but the results will be. This, however, I do not think this is that kind of situation. I think this is send a video of the same footage to, to just different people.
Yeah.
And like, you're all getting scammed. Now, I'm glad to see there's not like a booster.
Right. At least there's that, because you're paying the same price that you would pay for the 4 on the last lady's spell for one spell.
Right. Oh my god, face transformation spell, $250. Oh, I'm a vain bitch. Let's check this out. Fully transform your face in any way based on your sample image. This is from, let's see, Pentacle Coven. So I'm assuming it's the women in the image that we're seeing here. They're fun, aesthetically fun coven, I will say. Okay, so... Okay, I mean, I'm loving their fucking vibe.
Yeah, their vibe is great.
So let's see what this spell is. I mean, is it a glamour?
Right.
I don't know. All right, the spell transforms your facial features based on your desired image. It harnesses transformative magic to reshape your appearance, altering every detail to match your chosen look. Whether you seek to enhance your beauty or mimic the visage of someone else, this spell will manifest according to your intention. Please note, this spell is meant for face transformation only. For full identity change, please check our shop for Identity Change Ritual.
Oh, no.
Results are guaranteed. Oh, bitch, we're looking this up.
Oh, yeah.
We will get to this Identity Change Ritual. All right, magic style used. Our rituals combine various magical traditions, including Hermetic, Voodoo, Kabbalistic, Elemental, Chaos, and Goetia practices. Each of us specializes in our respective form, contributing to a powerful union of mystical energies aimed at manifesting your goals with precision and depth. Each ritual can be set as white or black magic based on your preference. You will already lose me at white or black magic.
Yep.
To quote Lyria, and I've said this before, but to quote Lyria in The Craft, magic is neither black nor white. True magic is both, because nature is both, loving and cruel, all at the same time. The only good or bad is in the heart of the witch. Do you understand? Okay, magic. Magic is just here. It is here, right? It is here. It is here. It is this fucking candle. It is this fucking candle with this flame, right? Right now it's pretty. It's in the candle. It's just burning. It's not doing anything one way or another, right? Now I could take this candle, and from this candle, I could light a piece of wood and kindling and set a fire in a fireplace and create warmth. Or I could set it under a fondue pot and I can melt cheese and have fondue. Or I can take this candle and I can walk over to my drapes at my window and I could put it under and I could set my drapes ablaze. The fire is just the fire.
Exactly.
The candle is just the candle. What I choose to do with it determines. It is neither black nor white. There's not good magic or bad magic. Now, it's just magic. Now, are there spells, incantations, and such of a malefic form? Absolutely there is. Baneful magic exists. We love it. We love it here. We love it here at Spelling the HEKA-TEA. Trust us.
We sure do.
We love it. Baneful and blessed. But that's not magic in itself. That is the spell. That is the recipe. That is the witch and their intention and what they want to use magic for. So this already, you lose me when you say black or white magic.
Exactly.
You already lose me. All right.
But go on.
Expected results. Our ritual services are designed to bring about profound changes aligned with your desires. While outcomes can manifest as fast within a day, the process can also unfold over a transformative journey. Rest assured, results are guaranteed, reflecting our commitment to your satisfaction, and we stand by that guarantee. In the unlikely instance that you do not experience the desired effects within 4 months, we offer either a recast as no charge or a full refund, okay? Ensuring your peace of mind throughout the process. Okay, that redeems, not the black and white magic bullshit. You've already still lost me on that. But that does redeem a little about the sale here.
Right.
Now, the transformation, though, that's going to be a glamour.
Yeah.
There's no, it just is not going to be a physical, my bones are shifting and changing and altering. But let's go on. About the coven. The Pentacle Coven is a sisterhood of 5 witches, guardians of the 5 points of the sacred pentacle, with each of us practicing a unique form of magic. So that was my other thing. So they're
Mm-hmm.
they're like the Planeteers, just like Captain Planet.
Right.
Like they're each like this is like the Power Rangers
Right.
of witches. uh, with each of us practicing a unique form of magic. I am Alera, entrusted with guiding and leading our coven's endeavors. My expertise lies in the realm of hermetic magic. Rooted in ancient Egyptian and Greek practices, I specialize in ceremonial casts that awaken ESP abilities and manipulate the natural world and reality. Talia, our voodoo high priestess with roots from West Africa and the Caribbean, stands beside me. With profound reverence for the spirits and the unseen forces she casts, dispels curses and confronts malevolent energies with an unwavering resolve, bringing clarity and peace to those overcome by darkness. Leora and her family are practitioners of the sacred traditions of Kabbalistic magic. Through her spells, she fosters reconciliation and unity, healing, protection, and spiritual transformation, weaving threads of understanding and compassion to mend fractured relationships, create love, and soothe troubled hearts. Celine, the warrior of our coven. Let me guess, she was a fan of the underworld films.
Right.
Delves in the enigmatic realms of chaos and Goetia magic. With keen insight and boundless creativity, she reveals hidden truths and illuminates new paths, defending victims of black magic, dark forces, and entity attacks. She is blessed with direct connection with the underworld and can make and break pacts with the spirit, jinn, and demon realms. Finally, there is Morwina, the steward of nature's elemental forces. With reverence and control over the elements of earth, air, fire, and water, she channels their energies through generationally passed rituals to bring balance and renewal, facilitating profound physical, spiritual, and mental transformations and guiding souls to their destined paths. Oh my God. Together, we have been a coven for close to 10 years and have participated and won in numerous psychic competitions, including Ultimate Psychic Challenge 2017, Psychic Games 2019, and Battle of Psychics 2023. We, the Pentacle Coven, are here for you with our collective strength and unwavering dedication to our craft. With open hearts, we serve as guardians and guides, committed to fostering healing, protection, defense, love, and enlightenment for all who come seeking our aid. This is very main character syndrome.
Yes.
This is very main character chosen one syndrome. What is required? Full name and a photograph of the individual for whom the cast is intended. If date of birth is available, please include that as well. Also include either the name and photo of that person whose life we will be copying of it or a description of the life you want. Once your order is placed, ensure that you included or messaged us the target name or names and photos, and any instructions or notes you would like us to be aware of. 2. Download the file that will come with the order. It includes basic ritual preparation instructions that you are to follow for best results. Okay, so you are involved.
Mm-hmm.
Send positive energy into the universe and await our message. The alignment of forces has brought us together. Your presence here is no coincidence. Your spirit guides have led you to us for a purpose.
Right, it was to make fun of you.
Yeah. Yes, it was. You have found what you seek, as we are here to transform your dreams into reality. Disclaimer. Per Etsy requirement, we must state that all tarot readings and ritual services are for entertainment only, and you must be 18 or older to purchase. Reviews, please.
All right. Sorry. 5-star review. My face is actually changing. The spell is working. I am happy I found this coven.
Okay.
Thank you. Awaiting changes. These things take time. Keeping positive.
Okay.
Also 5 stars though.
Okay.
It's great this group of witches is caring and powerful and successful in the field they work in. Thank you. Nothing about what happened.
Yeah. Did you become Chris Hemsworth? Did you become Bella Hadid? Like, that's what I want to know.
Exactly. Lovely to have a casting by these wonderful ladies. I can't wait to see what the future holds now. Definitely recommend from Sherry. Oh, but she attached a picture. And it's
AI.
It's the AI.
It's Sekhmet.
Yes.
It's the lion goddess
Mhm.
Sekhmet.
Is that what she's trying to make her face turn into?
Oh God! Oh God! Well, I want to know, is that working? Are you lying in the face?
And then she also has a picture of a gun.
2 guns.
Yes. And oh no, these are different reviews. These are just all of the ones with pictures.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay, got you. But
is she on the run? Is this why she wants a new face?
maybe. Is this the new burning your fingerprints?
I don't know. Everything manifested as promised and communication was great too. We'll be ordering more spells.
From Brittany. Oh, there's like 3 from Brittany. Worth every penny. You can tell right away this is real energy work. It worked exactly like the listing said it would. I'm happy with the results that I got. All 3 from the same Brittany.
She got a weight loss spell, powerful lose weight magic ritual. She purchased a protection removal spell, reverse body damage spell.
Mm-hmm.
Is that pretty?
Is she also?
That's literally how you would spell that.
Really?
And that's like really all things that I think she would care about.
Oh, totally. Oh my God, what it is.
So, we may know this reviewer,
We may know.
And this is a very real, like, we may know this person. The name is spelled the correct same way. And all the spells that she purchased were things that
she would
be self-conscious about and would purchase spells for. And other related issues, like that one, the reverse body damage spell, like, there's backstory to that. So anyway, holy fuck.
I hope it's her.
Jeez, okay. Wow, funny. Okay,
Wow.
Anyway. Any about their actual, who they became?
I mean, there's some that say it worked really fast, but nothing that specifically states what happened.
That's it. We're gonna go find this full body ritual.
Oh yes, can't wait. This identity spell.
Yes. Oh goodness. The identity change ritual. Okay.
Win the lottery.
Lottery spelled pact, domination pact. $2,999 fucking dollars.
Oh my god.
I want to see that. I want to know this. Okay, it's your turn to read.
Okay.
This is the one that's that's basically $3,000. To win the lottery, you're paying them $3,000. I want to know what that entails. What spell, what magic does that entail? And do they include it? Because they should be telling you in this why it's going to be that much fucking money.
Exactly.
When you can get another one for $700.
What if you pay $3,000 to win the lottery and then the lottery that you win is like $100?
Exactly. Like, what are you winning?
Exactly. So here's what it says. There's no such thing as a random lottery win. Every lottery jackpot happening right now, every sudden rise from nothing isn't an accident. It's decided long before it happens. Every winning draw already has a name attached to it before the numbers are even pulled. This ritual makes sure that name is yours. This isn't casual magic. It's not light work. It's not luck. It's a controlled win built through forced timing and private handling. One person at a time, one result, no exceptions. One lottery win to rule them all.
One ticket to rule them all.
The Lottery Domination Pact. Why are they always throwing that word pact around?
Pact, because, well, I'm wondering. That's what I want to know. Are you making a pact with something?
Right. It's a private ritual system that locks your name into a guaranteed winning timeline for the exact lottery that you choose. Powerball, Mega Millions, Euro Millions, Super NL Lotto, or El Gordo. We handle the rest. The total price for this pact is $50,000. You will pay $29.99 now to lock your place in the active queue. The remaining balance is paid in person after your win is delivered during a private meeting that will be scheduled following your win.
Okay.
As of May 2025, reservation queues for Powerball and Mega Millions are full through October 2025.
Okay.
If your order is placed today, your estimated winning alignment is December 2025. Timelines shift as more clients enter the cycle. You may contact us to confirm the next available window before purchasing. Once your ritual is cast, your lottery is bound to your name and your name is sealed into the live pact registry. You are now part of an active system cycling names into engineered wins across global lotteries. Each ritual is customized for one name, one draw, one result. This ritual can only be performed once per person per lottery within a 7-year window. However, you may commission it for your family members. When placing your order, you must provide your full legal name exactly as it appears on the ID that you will use to claim your winnings, no exceptions. This ritual isn't symbolic, it isn't about shifting your mindset or opening opportunities, it's about anchoring you to a real event, a win that overrides the odds and forces your outcome into place. We do not cast unless success is already forecasted. When it lands, it won't be small. Your bank account, your daily life, your status, your future, rewritten in a single move. One cast, one target, one win, that will change your life. Magic style use, okay, yeah, this is the same information that we've already read about who they are.
So, from one, we have, it's great. This group of witches is caring and powerful and successful in the field they work in. Thank you.
Oh, these are the same reviews that we just read. I think this is their reviews across their their site.
So nothing directly about, I want to see, get paid to exist spell. Okay. Oh my god, so lovely to have a casting by these wonderful ladies. I can't wait to see what the future holds now. Definitely recommend. They paid for a get paid to exist spell. Get paid to exist. So, like, do nothing. Just do nothing. I want to see a lottery one. Okay. Identity change. That was the I just can't wait what will happen.
Yes.
That was for the identity change spell. Change who you are. Let's see. Okay, full protection, third eye, manifest, full protection, block, weight loss. I want to see if someone did the lottery. Big dick spell, penis enlargement, witchcraft, make your dick grow magic. I look forward to the manifestation of the spell.
Yeah,
that was left by King. Big dick spell, penis enlargement. Oh my god. Oh my god.
You don't have to use that pump anymore.
Oh my god, that was hilarious.
That was hilarious.
Dark servant binding, command a powerful entity. The blessings of the moon. Oh wait, hi, I have received download. Thank you to you and your coven. Blessing to you. How much did they pay for that? $750. My servant is doing what I ask. I recommend this. Clara. Oh my. Find a powerful entity to obey you and serve your desires and daily tasks. This forbidden 7-day ritual is performed by the entire coven and transcends all known boundaries of dark magic, calling forth a powerful entity from the depths of ancient realms. Through unyielding force, we summon and bind the entity to your will, transforming it into an unstoppable servant, devoted to executing your every command. I could teach you how to do this yourself, or I will do it for you for, again, materials and time and energy, at most $200.
Right.
Perfect wedding spell, $11.95. I don't believe you're doing anything for $11.95.
Right.
What does this say? This is going to be our last one, by the way. And it's Evanne's turn. So read us about Perfect Wedding.
By Crystal Conjure Magic.
Okay.
Imagine a spell so potent and mystic that is $11.95 that it holds the power to craft your perfect wedding. This isn't just a spell, it's a divine enchantment that captures the essence of love and unity, transforming your day into a realm brimming with eternal bliss and harmony. The perfect wedding spell is tailored not just to create your ideal atmosphere, but to invoke powerful emotions and craft moments that transcend time and space. Picture your loved ones gathered under a twilight sky, their faces illuminating with joy and laughter as the spell binds everyone in an aura of mutual admiration and joviality. The spell doesn't just work on the physical plane, it maneuvers unseen forces, aligning celestial bodies to forecast a future of prosperity and enduring love for the newlyweds. I mean, this is a steal at $11.95, right? This remarkable spell works to guarantee an event tinged with passion, love, friendship, and unity, leaving an unforgettably sweet trace in all hearts present. No more anxiety or fear of things going amiss. The perfect wedding spell is designed to shield the occasion from any complications, ensuring a smooth, enchanting ceremony that reflects the love story it celebrates. This magical incantation is no less than a poetic orchestra. Every note, every rhythm weaving together to create an experience that resonates with the deepest desires of your heart. It's not just a spell, it's the promise of a dream wedding encapsulated in an ethereal moment of love and commitment. The perfect wedding spell awaits, ready to infuse your special day with magic and memories. Speed up your spell. Our spell accelerator is truly an extraordinary addition to any spellcasting ritual.
Another booster.
Another booster. Infusing your magic with unparalleled potency and accelerating the manifestation of your desires through the Master Crystal Surya. Second one, boost your magic. Our Dragon's Blood spell power up is the ultimate way to enhance your spell for optimum potency. Experience unparalleled power today. Note, all magic, like this spell, works much better within a circle of protection and focus. If you have not cast one in the last few weeks, please order this one to assure that you are protected from black magic and other evils, and to focus on this and any other white magic spells you may have cast.
White and black magic.
The effects of any magic are significantly enhanced by a circle of protection and focus. Highly recommended and on sale for under $5. You will receive 1, a promptly and expertly cast spell with total power and focus. 2, a letter from us explaining the spell's casting for you. So they don't even give you video evidence. Just a letter. 3, a copy of our What Next? Making Magic Work will tell you what will happen and what should happen once the spell is cast. But wait!
Oh, there's more!
If you have a difficult situation to deal with, you can upgrade to a premium spell for only a few more dollars and get a free tarot card reading with a much more powerful spell. You can find our premium spell with free tarot card reading here. Our magic at Crystal Conjure Magic is all-inclusive. We honor requests from all nations, all peoples, and those of all beliefs, persuasions, lifestyles, and religions. We are non-judgmental and welcome to all seeking magical help in life and love. We serve and honor all those who come to us. We are also much more than a simple candle-burning photo service, as many purported magicians seem to be these days. Are you though?
Ooh, throw down! I know, are you? You're charging $11.95, plus all these boosters. Which, were there prices listed for the boosters?
No, you had to click on the individual links.
Alright, so there you go.
Any hoozle.
Etsy Witches. Now, there are people on there like, what was it, Love Light Tarot?
Yeah.
I think was her name. She does all her own shit, makes her own stuff. Her prices were all absolutely reasonable.
Yeah.
Like, it is what you would expect to pay at, like, a pagan festival or walking into any metaphysical shop, any witchcraft shop. Like, and yeah. So there are legit witches on Etsy.
Oh, absolutely.
These are just an example of the cons that are out there.
Yeah,
because this is...
There are so many cons.
There are, and it's making us look really bad.
It really
and this
is
why people don't take witches seriously. And unfortunately, when we were on YouTube looking at some of the commentary videos on this, a lot of them were by people who are Christian or who don't believe in witchcraft, witches, just don't believe whatever. And so even legit things they were classifying as a con, as a grift,
right.
Snake oil. And that was just not the case.
No.
So we just wanted to focus on the things that really are questionable and ridiculous and out there because it's making us look bad. Don't fall for it.
No.
There are just some, use your logical sense on some spells that you're like, this sounds too good to be true. It probably is. And if you do want something done at a realistic price, in a realistic way, in an old-fashioned witchy way, hit me up. Hit me up, I'll help. So with spellcraft, yes, there's spells, but it's not actually always going to be spells.
Right.
Sometimes spellcraft is going to be about tools. Maybe we come across a really cool tool, new athame that's awesome, some shit like that, or how to use tools, whatever. It can be testimonial stories about spells that we've done and how the results were and how they came about, and signs and things that showed how these things came about. Or it can also be things like altar tours, things like that. So in the spirit of showing the diversity of the subject, we are going to veer from actual spells, this spellcraft, and talk about the other aspects, parts that go into witchcraft and spellcraft.
Exactly. So for my part, kind of related to what we were just talking about with Etsy, now, of course, there is a lot of bullshit out there on Etsy, but there's also a lot of good and helpful, wonderful tools and other witchy-related things. So I thought...
Playing with the candle, sorry.
So I thought this may be a... Actually, should I, like, start that over so that you're not, like, leaving it in the thing?
No.
Okay. Okay. So I thought now might be a good time to give you guys a little tour of my own Hera altar, which I just set up this year in my house. And quite a bit of that was actually purchased from Etsy. So I think with things like Etsy, it's important to just kind of go in knowing exactly what you're looking for when it comes to witchy supplies. But this is just showing that there is a positive side to Etsy witchcraft that does not always involve let's turn into a mermaid. Okay, so as we're walking in, you can see right here, as we walk into the room, I have a dragon tree right here. The reason I have a lot of plants around is to honor her aspect as Hera-Anthea. That is Hera of the flowers, all about abundance in general, in figurative ways, and also about literal affection for plants. So I have a lot of plants around to honor her in that way. Got some more right here. This is a big calathea that I have for her. These planters I actually hand painted. I bought and painted and inscribed in gold, and I found a bunch of peacock stickers to stick on there. I have 2 of them. The other one you can see is across the other side of the altar. I have things like my own prayers to her. I have some of her hymns on some of the sides as well. And going down, I have this little area. This is some imported Greek honey over here. It's got the honeycomb. That is what I mix with her wine when I offer things to her like that. Here's some pearls. She loves pearls. I also have a bowl of water for her to represent the waters of her rains of the storms. The spoon has a lily on the end. That is one of her sacred flowers. And then I also have this beautiful ornate bottle of peacock perfume, which I just think is so stunning. Moving down in here, there's some more candles, more perfume. This is the box that the peacock perfume came in. I just think it's really pretty, and especially when I've got the lights off and it's just illuminated by a single candle. Very, very stunning and beautiful. And of course, a lighter, because you can't have an altar without a lighter. In here, we've got my prayer beads for her. This is the pillow that I sit on when I do come before her on the floor. That just makes it more comfy. I'm an elder millennial, and I could not sit here on the floor without some cushy pillows. Oh. Then on the other side, I don't know if I can get it detached. Maybe I can. Okay, it seems to be stuck. But on the other side, I have a lotus necklace. It's gold, and then it's got, oh, here it comes, guys. So it has the image of a lotus, and then it's got a rose quartz on the end. She does love rose quartz, as well as gold, lotuses, and pinks. On the other side, again, more candles, more perfumes. This is a Bluetooth speaker that I use when I'm in front of her because a lot of my worship to her is musical. She asked me to make a playlist for her whenever I started worshiping her. So I basically put that on whenever I am before her worshiping her. So that is how I like to listen to the music. Moving on up, this is the racing bib from my 5K that I ran for her. Got a glass with some candles up here. And then here is the second calathea. And then moving on to the actual altar itself. She's got 2 serpent candle holders, gold lighter and candle snuffer. I usually use this little offering dish to offer votive candles to her. That is, next to it, you will see there is a bottle with her sacred symbol on it that also has some blessed oils for her. Here's an incense burner in the shape of a lotus, which is very sacred to her. And I've got this big pink egg and another gold serpent with roses back here. This is her central image of the altar. I have her wrapped in jewelry, some eggs at the bottom, and a peacock feather, of course, inside of a clock. I've got another way of offering oils, and this one is a crystal perfume dropper, which I think is very beautiful. We've got her wine offering right there. On either side, you'll see I've got some figurines of boats. And here is a bigger statue of her. I call this one Rock Out With Your Peacock Out, Hera. And I think that she does. So behind here, we've got our Juno statuary, very dressed up and adorned in her fineries, as she should be. And in here, I've got a jar of feathers with some blue carnations that I had sitting on the altar for a while. They obviously eventually dried up, but I just thought that they were so pretty that I still wanted them to be a part of the altar, so they are just stuck into the feather jar at the moment. This is where the carnations were. I'm keeping the water because I just thought it was very beautiful. The blue of the carnation stems kind of dyed the water blue, and you can't really see the color very well, but yeah, it's a kind of it originally was like a bright vivid blue. Now it's kind of like a dark blue tinging on purple, but I just think it's very beautiful and reminds me of her energy, so I keep it there. This little offering dish, I have flowers, I have some multicolor pearls, and then I have this apple that I've offered her. I inscribed her name of Hera and Juno on the apple with some paint pens. I think it's very pretty. We've got a bromeliad right here, blue fan in the background, and we've got these two beautiful peacock candle holders, which I use for statuaries. This one has an actual candle. This candle actually, oddly enough, did come from Etsy. So yeah, part of the reason why we wanted to show you all of this just was to show that it's not all scams and terribleness on Etsy. There are beautiful and amazing witchy things that can be found. Now this altar goes all the way up to the ceiling, so let me move the camera on up. So these two images are from the book We Goddesses by Doris Orgel. That was just a book that meant a lot to me growing up as I was learning about polytheistic faith in general, but also specifically about her. It's got a section about her that I just really love and stayed with me. These images also really stayed with me through my life. This is truly what I think of when I think of her in my mind. So here we've got this one and this one. This image is actually an image that my mom took. We were in Texas at a wildlife sanctuary, and we saw a peacock with his tail spread, so that was amazing. So of course I had to put that on her altar, obviously. This is a crown. I've got a gold necklace with an H. I've also got a pendulum with amethyst and rose quartz and gold. I think she really likes it. You can't see very well because of the glare, but I made her a little sign with her name. There's also all of these note cards that I have just inscribed with prayers that I used for her. And I gave her this little Kate Spade bag with the sticker in her imagery that says "Fight Me," because I felt like she would definitely appreciate that. This is a necklace I offered to her. This is another thing that came from Etsy. Shows her flanked by her two peacocks. It's very beautiful. From the same seller, actually. This is an image of her in the stars, and I don't know if you can see, but she's got a little child made of stars clinging to her dress. I thought that was beautiful. This is kind of the last image from that same book. It's just kind of an overview of her and what she is, but I decided to put that up toward the top. This one over here is a selection of lines from the one-act play The Serpent's Tale by Leonid Andreev. There were just some lines that really stuck out to me in that play. I read it when I was doing theater in college, but yeah, there were a few lines that stuck out to me that really reminded me of her. And when I wrote them out, just those lines all together, it really does read like an incantation, which I just love. Excuse me. Over here, we've got an image of Nagayina from Rudyard Kipling's Rikki-Tikki-Tavi. She's crawling away with her last remaining egg, and it's got the line from the work, "If you move, I strike. If you do not move, I strike." And that in certain moods definitely strikes me as Herian as well. Back here behind the plants, I've got some tarot cards strung up, and the reason that I have those is because there are 4 certain times of year, astrological seasons, that are both sacred to Hera and to Juno. So I decided to get the cards that represent those 4 times of the year. We've got the Devil for Capricorn season, the Star for Aquarius season, the Chariot for Cancer season, and the Hermit for Virgo season. And then looking above, there is a framed print of Fiona Good from American Horror Story Coven. This is not originally a part of the altar. I just had this before. But as I was setting it up, it was in the same location where I was setting up the altar. And I kind of wanted to keep it near because it also gives me very Herian vibes, and I think that she really enjoys it. So there we have it. We've got our altar coming all the way from the floor to the ceiling. And that is my Hera altar.
Well, thank you for showing that.
Oh, yes.
And I know that candle just keeps...
Does not want to cooperate.
But
Anyway.
I really love your altar
Thank
to
you.
Hera.
Thank you.
Love that there is like really like a temple feel to it that in miniature, that like when you see it like in person, like it's very incredible to see.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, I just really wanted to make her a space that I felt like she would feel was befitting of her and she would enjoy being in. And I do believe that I've accomplished that and I'm very proud of it.
Yes, I love it. So yeah, again, thank you.
Yeah, you're so welcome.
And please let us, tag us, show us, you can find us on social, let us see your altars if you want. If you have any altar tours up that you can tag us in to show us, we'd love to see them. I think it'd be cool if we could start showing people's altar tours, from viewers from you guys, if we could, kind of give shout outs to all of your magical spaces. Obviously, consort your deity first and see if they are okay with you showing your altar.
Right. I mean, that's why I chose to not show the altar while it was lit. I decided to just to show that space while nothing was actively going on it, because some deities are particular about the times that they are open to be shown to the world.
But as you see, sometimes it's just testimonial, and it's about art. It's the whole breadth of everything related to manifestation, witchcraft, spell work, deity work, spirit work. It's not always just spells that we're going to share here.
It's about our whole spellcrafting practice as witches.
Exactly. All right, so once again, we have arrived, flying above the Crystal Mountains, arriving at the Tudor Renfest, Jerk-Off Fest, 15th century, 16th century heaven castle on top of the Crystal Mountains, to once again join Hera Matriciana and Chuck Smith Sr. on the throne of paganism and despair for an all-new episode of The Pagan Invasion. This episode 10, and we are at the Latter-day Empire.
Woo! We made it to the Mormons.
We made it to the Mormons. That's all it's gonna get from us. Look, by this point, we as a society, as a culture, know a lot about the Mormons.
We do.
And we all know a lot of it's not so great.
No.
Joseph Smith, we know, was a con artist. He was the king of the tall tale.
Yes.
His story about the golden tablets, there's 7 versions.
Right.
We know about the polygamy.
Mm-hmm.
We know about the magic underwear. Right. We know about what is it? Kelog, Kolog, their planet that god Elohim came from. We didn't really learn anything.
No.
There was nothing surprising about the influence of the Church of Latter-day Saints.
No.
And it's all things we now really know. I mean, in a lot of ways, thanks to things like Secret Lives of Mormon Wives,
exactly. Which
Real
I'm
Housewives of Salt Lake City, which I'm very addicted to. But it's terrible because it's funding soft Trumpism, and we really should stop doing that.
Exactly. But frankly, I'm not going to stop watching Secret Lives of the Mormon Wives. I can't.
They're train wrecks.
They are.
It is what
magical
it is.
train wrecks.
But also,
I won't buy their products, though.
Yes. And we also know that the whole trad wife thing is really steeped in Mormonism. It's now kind of ebbed into evangelical spheres, but it really started in this Mormonism.
Yes.
We know Mom Talk and Momfluencer is rooted in Mormonism.
Very much.
Most MLMs come out of the Mormon church and are most prevalent amongst Mormons. These are all things we have learned. What we were curious about is the equating of it with paganism.
Yes.
And basically their argument, Carol and Chuck's argument, and the argument of Ed Decker. Now, Ed Decker was in the Mormon church for 20 plus years. He got out of it. Keep in mind, again, this was from 1991. So when they're talking to him, it's in 1991. But he's earlier in a film called The God Makers, which is based, I think, off of his book by the same name. And when he left the Mormon church, he made it in tune with Carol Matriciana. They're all together. It's all the whole Jericho films or whatever, incest circle jerk. So according to all of them, it's because of their belief in how they see and believe that basically Joseph Smith, had this supposed encounter and with, at first, I guess, God, and then it was Jesus, and then it was 2 angels, and then I think it finally ended with he met with 1 angel.
Yeah.
But he got these 7 tablets, which no one's ever seen, and they were basically the Book of Mormon.
Right.
And basically, they're rooted in Christianity. They're branched out of Christianity, like the Quakers, like so many other things, and they believe that in this moment, God, Jesus, whatever, elaborated more fully on his origin story, and that before he became God, as Elohim, he was like a man on another planet, and on that planet he reached such heights of divineness that he became a god, and then is now the god of this galaxy. It's a whole it's a lot. There's a lot of reflections of Scientology in it.
Yeah, very much.
But that was kind of just the basis of their argument. There was really nothing else. They kept making the Greek reference.
Yeah, they did. I counted 2 occasions, maybe there were more, but at least 2 that I noticed. They conflated Mormonism with the ancient Greeks somehow. It kind of sounded like what they were saying was in relation to the marrying within the family or polygamy, things like that. But the actual parallels that they were making, they weren't very clear about it when they were wording them.
No.
So the reference didn't really land. Let's say that.
It did not land. It really, really didn't. So they believe that Elohim is actually Lucifer. And
I thought they said he was the brother of Lucifer.
The brother of Lucifer, excuse me. No, they say that the Mormons believe Jesus is the brother of Lucifer.
Oh, okay.
And which I've never heard a Mormon say they believe Jesus is the brother of Lucifer.
No.
But maybe they do also believe God is the brother of Lucifer. I don't know.
Yeah.
Someone was brother of Lucifer. Which they also say is also the pagan god. Now we do know Lucifer is not actually the devil, and Lucifer does predate Christianity.
Right.
And he is a light bringer or light bearer. HEKA-TEA is HEKA-TEA Lucifiera, the light bringer, the bringer of the dawn, the morning star, the morning dawn, the morning light. It's just really, honestly, there's a good chance Lucifer's derived from, it's just a derivative of the epithet Lucifiera, which was HEKA-TEA. So there's a whole thing there. Anyway.
And then there are so many other deities who have epithets related to that.
Exactly.
Like, for instance, Juno Lucina.
Right.
Which literally translated means the same thing, bringer of the light.
Right.
And so many others have epithets that correlate with that.
Exactly. So you have Isis, who had things like, had epithets with that. Inanna had epithets with that. She was the light side of Ishtar. All these things. So there's a whole, it just is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, and it just didn't make sense how they equated, that was our god, all this whole fucking thing.
And the fact that they referred to it as the pagan god.
Yes, the pagan god.
Right. When any pagan will tell you there are many gods.
Yeah, which god? Which one? Which one? Which one? You say which one?
Right, like we can say the Christian God because you guys make you make a big display out of like, I am the one, the only, don't worship any other gods before me.
Exactly.
Our gods don't do that.
No, they don't. They're not that insecure.
No.
They're willing to share our love because they share their love, as we all know from all different theologies throughout the polytheistic world. All the deities in the polytheistic world have many things in common, but one of them is that they all, for the most part, some are very chaste, virginal, etc. But most of them really like to spread their love all over the land.
Exactly.
So, what is the second episode 11, the second Mormon one, going to be like? I don't know. I don't know how they're going to stretch this out for 2 fucking more episodes. I just don't. Like, there was nothing there this first time.
No.
The only relief was that they stopped talking about Hinduism. That's not true. At one point, they say it's no different than Hinduism, Buddhism, yoga, and the paganism of the East.
Oh, yeah.
So they did still reference it at one point.
They brought it back around.
They did. If there's a way to attack the East and brown folk, they'll do it.
They'll do it. They brought that brown lasso right back home.
They did. All right. So lastly.
All right. So with that all being said, let's get into our witchy media reviews.
Witchy media review.
Woo! All right. And so the first thing that we watched in this beautiful double feature of ours.
Yes.
Was Wicca, the Occult Experience.
Modern Wicca is Selena Fox. In America's Midwest, she embraces people with white magic.
A lot of people really confuse witchcraft or Wicca, pagan religions, with devil worship. They feel that it's evil, that we're harming people, that we're putting spells over people without, consulting them, and we're really not coming from that space at all. To get to know us, realize what we're doing is a very positive thing, that we're working with the energies of the earth, that we're very much tuned into a love consciousness, that we're seeking to do those kinds of things that religions all around the world have at their very essence, which is working with healing, working with love, working with achieving an inner balance and an inner communion with the divine.
Yes.
Featuring such iconic names in Wicca as Janet and Stuart Farrar. I always feel like I'm mispronouncing their name.
I think it's
Farrar,
Farrar, Janet Farrar, Stuart and Janet Farrar. I think it's Farrar.
It's a weird name.
Yeah.
And I say that as an fan.
Yes.
Anyways, moving on. Also Alex Sanders, Selena Fox, Margot Adler, Herman Slater, and the artwork of Rosaline Norton.
Yes.
Which was very fascinating.
Yes.
I actually did not know very much about her prior to watching this documentary, and just seeing her story and her and seeing the images of her art, it was very, very stunning.
Yes.
I loved it.
Yes. And she was, for those of you who don't know, in the 1950s and 60s, but especially in the 50s, she was like the most famous witch of Australia. And she was like, they wrote about her in the papers all the time, and they talked about how she like copulated with the devil and like all this crazy shit.
Right.
But she was a brilliant artist of occult imagery. And then Stuart and Janet Farrar. We've talked about them before.
Yes.
Janet Farrar is the Witch Queen of Ireland. They did write The Witch's Handbook, which is a seminal piece of Wiccan literature. It's this, as you can see from this picture, it's this big black book with the white text and the crossed brooms, and it's awesome. It looks simple, but striking. But there is just this like pick-me girl-ness to Janet that I can't get past.
Yeah.
Like, from that first one with the I am the Witch Queen of Ireland and I challenge any witches to challenge me. And they won't because they know it's true. And she's from England.
Exactly.
She has no right to be like, I'm the Witch Queen of Ireland.
I think it was funny in the first documentary that we watched, and she was telling the story about how she came to witchcraft, and at the time she was like a receptionist in London, and her was dull.
Yes. And then now she's been practicing witchcraft since she was 16, which
Right.
maybe she was a receptionist at 16 back then. I don't know. But then like, there's just something a little like fishbowl key party going on, if you all know what we mean. Like, there's just something We're going to talk about this later on in an episode in the future at some point. We're going to address the subject of Skyclad.
Right.
But there's something about Skyclad, especially back in like the 60s, 70s, 80s, that felt very...
Not insidious, but lecherous.
Yeah, just lecherous,
Yeah.
inappropriate.
Mm-hmm.
Janet, like, whips this guy with a riding crop or a
Right.
7-pronged whip, cat o' nine tails, with a cat o' nine tails on the hand. And she's like, sometimes, your high priestess, I have to be firm. I have to, when I say jump, you jump, and it's very flirty. And then she's like, now, I want all of you to clear the temple and clear the furniture, light a fire, I'm going to get robed. And basically, it's, Evanne and I always joke, clean my house.
Because they're actually just sitting, it's not a temple, they're sitting in her living room.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just sitting in her house. It's just on the other side of some sofas. Like, it's probably where the dining tables would be, but it's been cleared out to this altar space, which is fine, but it's very clean my house.
Yes.
And then when she's getting robed and everything, she's naked, she's changing, which whatever, it's fine, but it feels very erotic.
Yes.
The new initiate comes in, Michael, and she's very flirty with him as he's stripping down, and she's stripping down.
As she's anointing him, she's like...
Yeah,
you know,
and he's like butt-ass naked.
Yeah, she's all up in there in ways that, like, you know, you really don't need to be. Like, even if I'm in a Skyclad coven and I have to anoint another coven member, like, I'm doing this, not this.
Yeah, it was very caressive. But then they make him like run through. It's the winter solstice, and they make him run through the like English forested countryside, butt naked and blindfolded and tied. And
as they call his new witchy name.
They call it his magical name. Usna, Usna, Usna. And like Stuart Farrer is like wearing his like hornet crown with a pentagram, and he's just like standing over, and it's shot very like pristinely. And the Temple of Art, the Fellowship of Isis was featured in it, which was this landed gentry English family that lives in Ireland, and at their castle they are witches. The thing is this was about Wicca.
Yes.
But we're gonna do an episode on Wicca.
Yeah.
Trust. It makes me cringe. It just... I'm sure supposedly Wicca has really ironed out some of its shit from back then, but it's very pick-me, it's very pretentious, it's very colonized, white.
Yes.
At one point, a statement is made when they're talking about consecrating a poppet for sympathetic magic. And again, the whole thing is centered around, in Wicca, is centered around procreation and the great rite, the divine union of the Lord and the Lady, the God and the Goddess. And so even enchanting a puppet involves her spread eagle out in the 5 points on a pentacle.
Right.
And then like the doll being placed, and then the high priest coming down upon her.
Right.
And the simulation of
copulation.
To imbue and impregnate the doll.
Right. Although, the funny thing about that scene is they explain the whole thing that it represents the conception of a child and it's about the womb, but then he places it sort of on her chest area.
Yes,
it's not on her womb.
Now, this could just because there was a documentary film crew. Like, back then, like, everything was brightly lit because they needed the lighting. So, you know, in real life, like, this ritual would have been done with the lights out and just the candles and whatever other ambient light they had for the ritual. And I'm sure that doll was placed on the womb.
Right.
Or wherever they thought the womb was.
Right.
It's... In the scene when they're talking about this puppet, then you have the voiceover of the high priest, and he makes reference to, I suppose you could use it for malefic intention, for bad intention, you know, like in voodoo and black magic. And Wicca just is very exclusionary.
Yeah.
It's exclusionary to queers. Like, you can't be gay in Wicca. I mean, you can, but you have to adhere to the divine union and the divine symbolism of the God and the Goddess, the Lord and the Lady, and you have to participate in the ritualistic work of the Great Rite and all this fucking shit. It's just like, you still have to admit, basically, if in Wicca, if you're going to be gay and in Wicca, if you're going to be a lesbian in Wicca, you're going to be queer and in Wicca, you have to admit and adhere to the fact that the Great Rite of the God and the Goddess, the procreation of opposite sexes, the union of the opposite sex, is the divine, correct way and the blessing of how it's supposed to be. The athame, which some people back then called the atheme, and maybe that's how it was pronounced. Most people I know call it an athame, but the athame in the chalice, like the athame is the cock, and the chalice is the vagina. Like, so. And
the wine is what she squirts.
Right. So it just, the cup of the wine of life, the cauldron of Queridan. So it was very informative of Wicca. So, and of the time that it came out, which I would say was probably like the mid-'80s, like probably 84, 85 is when this dropped, given the hairstyles of people. Especially, you can usually tell when it was by the hairstyles of young people. And the young people definitely had a new wave 1985, 84 look, but definitely not like 86, 87, not like later 80s, but not earlier 80s where things still look the 70s. So for that, I'm gonna give it a full moon.
Yeah.
It was informative. It showed Wicca.
Yeah, I think I'm comfortable with a full moon as well.
Perfect, a full moon for Wicca, the Occult Experience.
All right, and here's where it gets a little weird. So next we watched a little jingle called The Inauguration of the Pleasure Dome
Yes.
by Kenneth Anger from 1966.
And read the description again of it.
Oh yes. So this was based on a Thelema initiation ritual. Very much a Crowley-fueled orgy. A Crowley-fueled orgy of psychedelia.
Yes.
Very much had that fever dream aspect.
Very art house.
Very kaleidoscope.
Yes. Very art house. Very Warhol. I guess if I'm trying to give you a comparison, that's what I would say. It was very Warhol. It was very art house.
Yes, very much. So we start off with this lovely gentleman, and we think he's a lady at first, actually.
Yeah. Putting on his adornments,
yes,
he's got makeup, and he's beautiful.
Very, very stunning.
Yes.
But at first you only see like his hands placing on the jewelry onto his body, and then he sits up and he goes to his mirror and you see, oh, that's a boy.
Yes.
And he continues to, adorn himself and get beautiful. And then when he opens the door, he sees all of these different figures.
Yes.
Who begin to interact with him.
And we know that in Thelema and Hermeticism, there's a lot of heavy Egyptian.
Yes.
So there was a lot of I think there was like Osiris
yeah.
and Isis were featured in this moment, I think.
Lots of Eye of Osiris.
Yes.
Yes. Sometimes it would flash across the screen as though like it was also a jewel that was being dangled in front of the camera.
It was beautifully done. It was
beautiful.
So psychedelic.
Yes, very operatic, symphonic. There was a part with some titties showing.
Yes. There was, I think, at one point, male genitalia as well.
Yes.
So there was a feast for
a feast
everyone.
for all. A feast for all upon the flesh.
Yes, a feast of flesh.
I want to watch this again.
Yeah,
I thought it was stunningly beautiful and just very disarming.
Yeah, it was so great. And it's definitely something you could see was probably used in ritual.
Yeah.
So like probably you would go down to like a ritualistic room, maybe a dark basement, something like that, and you could imagine this like on like a screen or projected on the wall, playing during the ritual. Because back then, especially, multimedia was used a lot, incorporated a lot in ritual practice. Yeah. We know Anton LaVey and the Church of Satan loved like you go into a dark room, and it would be red, but there would be red light, like a red light, and the room was dark and there was this ambient red light, and then music coming for you from all ends, chanting. It was very sensory, multimedia, and so I could see this being used probably back then in that way.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with the rest of Kenneth Anger's work, but apparently this is just like his other films was also more Crowley, Thelemic, Hermeticism. So my guess clearly is probably he practiced it.
Yeah.
He was probably a follower of Crowley and the works of the Golden Dawn, perhaps. So.
I mean, I just don't think the imagery that he placed in this film would have existed if he were not an active practitioner himself.
Oh yeah, no, you wouldn't make this. There's just no reason. It's like little known fact. Geiger, who did the designs for the xenomorphs, created the xenomorphs from the Alien films and everything. He's adamant that they are extraterrestrial, interdimensional demons. And he worships them. And he actually had in his home, and there's a documentary on Geiger you can watch, it's online. But in his house, he has a ritual room.
Oh, wow.
And you go in there, and it's the xenomorphs, like everywhere, in all these different sexy forms, and like making out, but also devouring, and fucking scary. And he worshipped them and connected with them, and said they were out there, and that they do exist, and that they're intergalactic, interdimensional demons, and that really terrifies the fuck out of me.
Although I will say, it took me a little minute to follow you where you were going, because at first when you said the xenomorphs, my brain went the animorphs.
Yes.
And I'm imagining them like in this ritual room worshiping the animorphs.
Yes, I love it. So yeah, this is definitely worth watching if you want to just like zone out, see something interesting, go for a little trip, have a little green, eat a little gummy, have a little time. It's worth it. So again, another full moon on this like 100% psychedelic, weird, wonderful gem.
Yes. A kaleidoscopic carnival.
Yes. Again, both of these are found on YouTube. Just go back and, I'll rewind. You'll see, where we flash the title so you can look it up. Again, Wicca, The Occult Experience. Just look it up. It's like 40 minutes long. And then
the inauguration
of the Pleasure Dome by Kenneth Anger, 1966. All these are on YouTube, free to watch. Amazing.
Wonderful, wonderful.
All right.
Yeah, that was a very, I hate to use the title of the movie, but it was a pleasure to watch.
It was. Find us on our socials and hit us up. Don't forget, if you like what you see, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Please, 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 please help us spread the word about this baneful and blessed, beautiful coven that we are making.
Exactly.
And until next time, witches,
remember,
broomsticks, not just for cleaning.